This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 262 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. We are back from nearly blowing ourselves up on the 4th of July. Oh well, there's always next year. Let's jump right into it. I am your host and iced Americano of the podcast, Eric Getty Gettinger. With me, as always, is microwaved coffee with lots of cream and sugar, Alex Arona.
You may think that sounds like you're really trying to disparage me.
I'm not,
because that's the only way. That's the only way I drink it, baby.
I know. That's
I make a pot for 3 days.
Oh,
3 days.
well, no, three.
No.
You got something to say? And then I add the cream and sugar, and then I take the pot, and the pot's still good. It's fine. It's fine. We're all fine.
No.
How are you?
This is a crime.
How are
I'm
you?
going to call the police.
That's fine.
3 days.
It's all fine.
Gross.
Well, you blow the dust off.
We have the fanciest member of the podcast with his artisan beans and French press, Alec Parks.
You know, if the beans aren't roasted within the last 24 hours, they've gone stale. And really, you need a pour over. The French press is too acidic.
I stand corrected.
I blacked out for a second. What? Is there something about the oils, right? Isn't there a thing about oils?
There is, yeah. The oils will evaporate, and you don't want to deal with not having the flavors from the beans.
Now, before I introduce the last member this week, Alec, have you tried those beans that have been defecated out of an animal?
Kopi Luwak, and no, I have not.
Okay.
They are absurdly expensive.
Right.
What about that mushroom coffee?
I had Billy Corrigan make me a latte with the mushroom coffee.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It wasn't like pumpkin spice flavored, or
No, it was not pumpkin spice
That's a
flavor.
good reference. By a surprise turn of events this week, we welcome a weaponized can of Red Bull, Kevin Hartwig.
yeah. Hi. Thanks, guys. I actually don't drink coffee at all, so I don't have any sort of stakes in the coffee thing. But
What's your
Red Bull,
caffeine
right?
diet right now?
and I'm off caffeine completely. Actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's that like?
That's great.
It's it's calm. It's very calm. There's a that's really the only calm. There's a very heavy calmness that comes to not drinking, 40 ounces of sugar-free Red Bull or really much any caffeine.
I like to take it out the side and crack it with my keys. And
Listen, don't get me wrong. Like, the school year will start again, and Daddy needs his sugar in the morning. Not real sugar.
So you're
though.
just on
sugar-free.
a summer hiatus.
Yeah, like a caffeine tea break, I guess. No, but
Use cleanse.
I won't.
That's
I
an
won't.
appropriate word.
Yeah, definitely. No, I won't start up right away. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Metal Gear Kevin back in action.
Ooh.
I want to get that oatmeal that's got caffeine in it. Put
Gross.
caffeine in my everything.
He already had the ramen with the caffeine in it. Kevin, can we get a Metal Gear for the track?
Metal Gear. No. Let me try. That was way.
Might need to warm
That
up.
was real sensual.
Metal Gear.
I think we're gonna get to it.
Metal Gear. That one's a little
Yeah,
bit
that was a
more
clean
intense. I don't really have my voice doesn't really do that register.
I can give you all the
clean read.
psychomantis that you're looking for, though.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but
I
no.
think we'll get some of that later too.
That's
On
going to be
a
on a
side
Or
button.
never again, ever. What?
No, that's going to
he's
be on a
gonna-
button. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put it on a button that I can just consistently replay forever.
Ugh.
Yep. And he
Soundboard
will.
it.
Metal Gear.
Oh, that's a really good clean read. I'm gonna take that one too. I'm gonna mark it down. I'm
I
gonna
was
write
feeling
this down.
it in Feeling it
Quick
in the
side
throat.
note. If you are looking for Joel this week, he is currently on assignment picking a fight with Dick Van Dyke. Who's going to win? We already took bets here, guys.
Yeah.
The Ottoman. The Ottoman.
The Ottoman.
Or Dick Van Dyke tripping over the Ottoman into Joel.
Dick Van Dyke wouldn't want to beat Joel, but there's absolutely zero chance that Joel would win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's very real.
There's a lot of Dick Van Dyke going like, like I bashed him with my ice skate accidentally. Oh my god, that might be too much. An ice skate.
We don't want anything bad to happen to him, but maybe Joel could, learn a lesson from Dick Van Dyke. Just throwing it out.
Really sweet.
Only lesson
really
he's learning from
clean
Dick
out
Van
his
Dyke
chimney.
is as a knuckle sandwich.
There's a lot of good Dick Van Dyke, like joke. Like we could just do 2 hours on Dick Van Dyke jokes.
We definitely could, and he's been around long enough that we could.
And we can keep him relatively clean. If we get dirty with it, we can go another hour.
Oh man, he'll really clean Joel's chimney. God, see, that's really good.
See, there you go. It's good.
Chimney, chim chiroo.
God.
He's got a knuckle sandwich for you.
There you go.
All right. We got podcast stuff to do, right? We played video games. Some of us played video games. All right. Most of us are caffeinated, so let's go ahead and jump into the podcast this week. Early adopters, we kind of got stuck on the A's. Well, there was supposed to be more than one, but I'm going to tell you right now, we got probably got a longer conversation going to happen in the backlog, so we'll figure it out. The news this week is most certainly relevant and all of it verified.
It is this time. I swear.
I swear it's verified. I didn't make up anything.
There's no rumor mill this week.
Good.
Swearified.
That's how I like it. I don't need any of that. All right. You guys ready? You want to do this?
Yep, ready to
Yeah,
go.
Let's move. Let's go over to early adopters where we play. Well, this isn't going to work. Where we play alphas, betas, and games. Where I also wish I could make 5 alternate versions of myself. That we were supposed to play a different game, and we did not make it around to it this week. I was told
next week will be 3.
It won't, because that game is down. You can purchase it now.
Wait, really? Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play that one.
Google that. What was the name of that game, Alex?
The Altars.
Yeah.
The Altars. We did not play The Altars.
I'm going to wishlist it, though.
If you guys want, I can fill time by talking about my time as an altar server, growing up, just tangentially.
We played Aloft.
There you go. Aloft. I had talked about this from Summer Game Fest. It is a survival game, just much like a Subnautica.
Whoa.
Or a Minecraft.
It was not as intense, and I think that's what I appreciate about Aloft. I didn't feel imminently threatened the second that I set foot into this world. Nothing tried to kill me, drown me, and I didn't crash out of a spaceship.
Also, if you just because the main point of Aloft is the fact that you're just on a floating island with amnesia, and there are just dozens and dozens of other floating islands for you to explore with lots to do and see, and even if you I definitely just jumped off of the island a bunch of times, and there is no penalty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I fell off, jumped off. It was a blast.
Yeah. So that's the thing about Aloft is that there's a lot of crafting. The unique thing about the crafting is that it does let you kind of, I want to say, experiment. So it'll just say, okay, what happens if I put 3 rocks together? Oh, I get flint. Okay, cool. And then you just, move on to the next thing. You can discover a lot of things to craft just kind of by, trying things out and putting, I found bandages and I found cloth and I found all these different things so that I could then use that. And then you also get a the crafting table where you can make more advanced things. And then eventually you get a glider, which is how you move from island to island. And even that's just super fun because you have an automatic boost that you can use on a cooldown. There's updrafts everywhere. In the middle of the island is a giant maelstrom storm. That's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun.
All right,
Yeah.
so that's kind of where pun intended, fell off. Was after I got the glider. I didn't realize I could actually get to any of the other islands.
Did you figure out how to equip it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I figured I explored the heck out of the island I was on.
It was not very clear how to equip it. It was like, go into the menu and equip it. And I was like, okay. I went into the menu, and then there was a little note at the bottom that was like, just press this button to equip. And I was like, oh, well.
Oh, for me, I couldn't figure that out, so I ended up having to go to in the glider builder. It's got an equip button.
Oh.
So when I went to
Okay.
the UI of the glider builder, I was able to equip it, and I definitely also made it all sorts of cool colors and designs.
Yes. That was the first thing that I did when I found out that I could have it, and then it took me a while to equip it.
Yep. And then did you guys go to the other islands?
No, I thought I was still supposed to find something on the island I was on, so I was looking for more of the learning stones to figure out more things I could craft.
There probably are more. It's a pretty big island you start on.
I found 2 on the island I start on.
That
Okay.
sounds right.
Yeah.
It
One
guides
was-
you to at least one of them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it guides you to one of them, and that's to give you the crafting bench, and I don't remember what the second one was.
Oh, the second one was the glider. Yeah.
Then I had a third one.
Okay. I don't remember finding a third one. I did go to some of the other islands to explore. It was interesting because I take it all of these are randomly generated islands.
They
Like the
are,
experience that
but
yeah.
they aren't. The islands are they're not procedurally generated, and the things you learn are not procedurally generated. It's more like what could be on there as far as like how it looks.
okay.
But whenever
So-
you make you start your game, everything is put down for kind of good. So like if you can miss whole pieces of crafting stuff. But it is there, and it's all like on point where they want it. It's not like procedurally generated that way.
Right. Yeah, I just went and I explored a couple of the islands. I found another stone that gave me like a fin, but that was really it. I was like, you know what? This seems like the right kind of survival game where I don't feel threatened. It's not forcing me to do anything. There is a night and day cycle, so you can, if you want to, build a house, start to... I don't know if I got any furnishings that I could have built, but I started to look at some of the things that it allowed me to do and had some ideas, but I could get behind this. I don't think that it is going to stress me out as much as some of these other survival games that we've played. We played one earlier this year that literally had a timer on your arm, and you only had 5 minutes to live.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Oh yeah.
No, the fin is so you can then start to like your islands that you're on. I'd mentioned this when I was talking about Summer Game Fest. At a certain point, you can put down a wheel and some fins and some like kind of almost like little wings, and then you can pilot your island around.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's really cool. It's very cool. And I like when I played this at Summer Game Fest, I definitely they had a save prepared. They're like, in this one, you're pretty far ahead, and I was like, oh hell yeah, give me everything. So in this case, I definitely was still looking around for new pieces. There are enemies and enemy islands,
Okay.
and when you fight off the enemies, they'll have like little weak spots that you attack. And once the enemies are down, it is up to you to... It doesn't automatically restore the island. You have to restore the island yourself. And it'll say on the island, this island needs this many different types of plants and this kind of wildlife, and you bring it.
What does that mean?
It means that you are... Like, the game has the idea
Is it
of...
visually different? The island is barren? What are you fighting, like rock monsters?
It's like purple,
did I
like...
miss?
It's like purple fungus things, like evil, like painful plants that attack you.
Evil fungus?
Yes.
I think Kevin could tell us a thing or two about evil fungi.
I mean, there's a lot of fungi, you guys. I understand.
No.
I understand the largest single living organism in the world is a single fungi colony under Yellowstone. That's not related to video games at all. You just threw me. You threw
adjacent.
You threw me fungi, and I was like, here's a fact I know.
I was hoping that you were going to make a reference, be like, yeah, I'm a real fun guy.
Oh, well, okay, I am a fun guy. That's true.
Kevin, did you get a chance to Aloft with us this week?
I did not. I did not get a chance. I
You know what that means.
What is
He
that?
has to play Lion King on stream, right?
He did not swear.
Listen. I came here to
Hartwig,
talk
would
about.
you ever play Lion King on stream until you beat it?
Would I ever play it on stream until I beat it?
Yes.
I mean, sure. I mean, I played 6.
What do you think is more
Metal
frustrating?
Gear
Metal
games.
Gear.
I played
Metal Gear
6 Metal Gear games over 4 years or something like that, every single week live. And it haunts me still. Do I think I can handle one little Lion King game? Maybe, maybe not. Like I don't know.
Real mad at Lion King. I got real.
Oh,
mad
I would.
at Lion
I would continue getting really mad at it for sure.
Yeah.
I promise. I talk a big game, but when the chips are down, I probably
You're
would.
always around.
I probably. Would. I guess the excitement is in me failing repeatedly. So yeah, for sure. For the sake of podcasts, yeah, I would definitely play Lion King. I just hurt myself.
We're talking about doing Drunk Souls again, where we play Dark Souls, but you have to have to drink every time you die.
No.
What?
Like,
Getty, I thought we were doing this. We had an agreement. We had a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah,
we have some type of agreement, but we have to get to that point in our lives where
where life no
willing to
longer
do
matters.
this.
yeah.
Where you're like, well, I lost all my jobs.
I lost all my jobs.
I guess I got this now.
I got no monies.
It's a very much like a no hope podcast choice, like Drunk Souls.
Yep.
Like that's
Now, back to Aloft. I just want to say that it does have that idea of like it's really not a big threatening game, and even when you get to the beating of enemies, it's really just more about the reforestation of it, like rebuilding the environment and the nature of it, and that was kind of what the developers had said was the point. It was more about rebuilding biomes and redeveloping, destroyed habitats and nature itself. So it's like it does have a good message in the end, and it's also just a fun and interesting mechanic. I had already found like 2 different eggs that if I were to incubate them, they could have a creature that I could then use to repopulate a sky island. So it does give you that like that nature preservationist kind of feel to it, and it gives you those kinds of goals. And eventually, you'll get a map, and then you'll be able to map out all the islands and all that stuff. And you do have a home base. That's where you start. Like, and whenever you leave your island, it'll always pinpoint you back to where your home base is. But imagine if you could fly your home base
into your friends' bases
like a roving fortress. Also, we should try to see if this was multiplayer live.
It was. There was an option for multiplayer in the demo.
Oh, Getty, what are we doing?
I've had Paladins installed for weeks, and yeah.
So it looks like we're beta breakdowning Aloft. That was my goal. And since
I
Joel's
would
not on this week, he is unofficially forced to play this.
I would crash my island into your guys' islands.
Yeah.
That's what a best
all
friend
the
does.
time.
That's what best friends do.
Just nonstop crashing.
Let's do this, Getty.
Well, we made it. We did Aloft. Yeah, I guess that's it for this week.
We alofted it.
We can close out the episode, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're done. It was a good episode.
Okay. Fine. Let's go ahead and glide into a break, and we'll see you on the other side. Oh, hey. As That was a little bit longer than we thought. But don't worry, because this is the news with Super GG Radio. Now, it's going to cost you $7 more
So
every
mean.
month.
So mean.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah,
Get it for
subscribe to
free.
our Patreon.
It's a real hike.
I have a thing
Isn't
here.
it?
Wait, where? Oh, I didn't. Yeah, monthly pictures of our pups. Get your name read off as an executive producer. Free copies of early adopters, and even get a chance to play a game with us. And that is our Patreon. Stickers
That's
and
the
merch.
thing.
Yeah,
You can pay to hang out with us.
but you gotta pay. You know, one of the things, and this is gonna be a little aside for you. One of the things that I remember the whole subscription model happening was when, remember those ads for the language learning CDs? What were they called? Rosetta
Oh,
Stone.
yeah, yep.
Moozy? Are you talking about Moozy?
No, Rosetta Stone.
You're not talking about Moozy.
No. So I
Can we
bought.
talk about Moozy later, though?
Okay. Let's talk about
Okay, good. I just want to... We'll pick it up. Go ahead.
Susie, Moozy Susan. I bought a box of it of the Rosetta Stone Spanish, learning books, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. And it's got online modules and whatever. And then it's like, oh no, all of that's done. We don't do that anymore. It's all subscription now. I was like, but I just paid like $150 for these. Like, nope.
What do you do with them? Not connect your computer to the internet and see if it works?
No, they'll work the baseline of like lessons, but like all the added extra stuff that you want with it is not there anymore.
Like the Vosotros. You got to pay extra for the Vosotros, for sure.
That just makes sense.
They're gonna make you pay extra for the Vosotros. That's a good Spanish language joke. I feel like that was a good one. So I'm gonna let that that be there.
I guess we can charge more to conjugate, but speaking of price hikes, you guys hear about this Xbox Game Pass Ultimate price increase?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, mostly because it kind of makes that phrase "get it day one on Xbox" a little bit. It's not quite exactly true.
But you still get it day one.
If you pay the extra, sure. You gotta get that premium policy, man.
You want to pay that extra. Look at all the games that you're missing out on, Alex.
Yeah, because there's
Halo, Starfield,
all the new Halos, right? Yeah,
all the new Halos.
'cause they've been so
I heard
good.
multiplayer's coming. Co-op. You can play co-op.
Definitely canceled.
One of these days, I'm going to get my Halo co-op back.
It's
And
there.
there's nothing you can do about it.
It's there. It's what local isn't there, right? Was it local?
That's what I want.
Okay.
That's what I need.
It's what I want. Anyway, the price hike is it's kind of right on the cusp of that. Xbox will do something nice and then just shoot themselves in the foot entirely. They had just gotten their Xbox Game Pass app to work on, say, Amazon Fire Sticks. So you could go, if you have like an Amazon Fire TV, you could download the Game Pass cloud gaming app and play your Xbox Game Pass games there. But now everything is more expensive, and the plans are even kind of splintered off. PC versus just the Xbox itself, getting a small catalog of 25 games or the full catalog of over 100 games, day one or not. It's a lot of different, it's a whole mess.
Well, somebody's got to pay.
Yep, but not me. Not me. I'm okay with it.
I also let mine lapse a while ago.
PlayStation Plus also got real confusing there.
Aren't most people just like waiting to get it for like the $1 a month?
Oh, they stopped that.
Oh, they don't do that anymore at all?
Nope.
No, they stopped that.
They got us, you guys.
First what they
got
did is they
somebody.
made it so that those don't stack anymore. You can only have one at a time, and then they just stopped. They shut down the whole buy it for $1.
It's too bad.
They weren't making money on it. It's weird. The weirdest thing.
Yeah, infinite growth. That's how it works.
Unfinite.
Unfinite.
Next piece of news. Vampires. Where's Joel? We got Vampire Survivors news. Joel. Alec. Is he behind that door?
Yeah, he's tied up at the moment.
He was just kicked mercifully with tap shoes by Dick Van Dyke.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch. Vampire Survivors coming to Apple Arcade?
Yeah, Apple. It's what's weird about this is that Apple Arcade is what Apple's been using for all of their games now. They don't really have games like really, pretty high quality games just on the store anymore. It's all about getting them through a subscription, like anything else in the world. And in this case, the word on the street is that Apple Arcade is no longer really courting developers. It was a hotbed for a lot of really good games, but now we're at the point that developers are kind of leaving Apple Arcade, trying to get their stuff off of Apple Arcade, just because it seems like the well is drying up. So putting Vampire Survivors on there is just kind of an interesting thing to do, considering that they've what feels like all but abandoned the platform. So,
what do you feel like? It's like a sunk cost choice where they're like, well, we're 90% through development of the Apple version of it, so like we might as well. But I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyway, that's the word on the street is that it's like, oh, okay, that's an interesting choice to put that on there. But I guess it's already got its fan base, so it's just an easy pop on as opposed to paying developers to actually continue to develop for Apple Arcade games themselves.
Okay. Next piece of news? Let's do it. Awesome games done quick. Doge basketball. Is that video that you sent me? The dog
baseball,
playing?
But I did not send it.
Oh. Who sent it?
Joel. It was awesome games done quick.
I did not see that one.
There's a pup, Peanut Butter the dog, and he's been doing different games. He did a game last year or earlier in this year. I can't remember. Last time the game's done quick, he was doing the game where it's like 2 buttons. It was I can't remember. It was what's the robot for Nintendo?
Rob.
Yes. Okay. So it was a Rob game. And he only had 2 buttons, and you would press buttons, and the dog would press the buttons on command, and to make the robot move. And he was trying to speedrun a game. This year he was doing Ken Griffey Jr. Presents MLB, and he was doing some speedrunning with that. He finished it. He finished the game,
Nice.
And it was pretty good. It's pretty fun. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Very good boy.
Yeah.
Love to see a good boys playing good video games.
Yeah.
Those old Griffey games are. I mean, they're just good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I love watching that pup play. I'll watch that pup play any day. Awesome
now.
games done quick. This is Summer Games Done Quick. That's what it was. He was at Awesome Games Done Quick. So done quick. The other one is that they also broke a record this year. I read that the first
Completely
GDQ
verified.
event to raise over $3 million.
There we go.
Nice.
So good for them.
You know, it's also exciting news. Watch Dogs movie finally starts filming.
Hell yeah.
Will we see it in theaters, Alex?
Me and you, absolutely. But you don't like to hang out, so it'll probably be not really.
So
what
defines it as a Watch Dogs movie versus just like a movie that's going to be an action movie in that genre?
I was about to ask, have you played the Watch Dogs games?
No. That's not.
Really?
I'm not trying to be cheeky here.
Those games are very good. You would really like them.
Yeah, no, I heard they're great. The Watch Dogs games, both the first 2 of them, came out at times when like I feel like there was like a heavy saturation of what were really good or supposed to be really good, like open world games,
map
like
games. Yeah.
So it's like I just like I never got into like any of the Assassin's Creed games either. Even though like logically like open world games like you're it's sort of RPG-ish but yeah, no. I tried to play one of them and there was no buy-in, and I was like, oh my god, Red Dead Redemption 2 is so good still. And then I played it for a 3rd time or whatever. And I was like, Arthur, I love you so much. Like, I've never seen a character like you. Anyways, that's one example of a game that made me sob at the end of it.
Which one? Red Dead?
Yeah, for sure. No question.
We've definitely got a game for you if you really want to cry.
The second game that made me sob. Well, there's been more since then, I think, probably.
I mean, we can go through the list. If we're going to have a discussion about games that make us cry, we could do this.
No, but this is a good...
We could do a whole segment.
I feel like, you know what? I don't want to
eyes.
break your segment if we're not in the Baldur's Gate segment yet.
No, because before your eyes, you're playing as a child with cancer. Let's not do this right now.
No. I'll build the Larian Bridge later.
I'll start choking up describing the game. Watch Dogs, on the other hand, is a game about an oppressive corporate technology company that's slowly trying to gather everyone's data and use it to like essentially fund Big Brother and the government. And you are different characters who are banding together to take down the man using hacking, cool hacking stuff. You do hackety hacks and clackety clacks. The main character is like he does everything from his smartphone.
Yakety yaks, but don't talk back.
No, there's not as much clackety clack.
There is clackety clacks. The first mission of both games has you go to server rooms and start clacking away.
It's not as much as you would think. A lot of the hacking happens from your phone.
Yeah, it's all phone stuff. So you can get like abilities where you can like
I know
over
that.
the pants phone stuff.
Over the pants phone stuff.
Over the pants phone stuff. I think
It's all phone stuff.
I'm 100% sure that should be the name of this episode, unless there's something.
I really don't know if anyone's gonna like that, but I'm into it.
Over the pants phone stuff featuring Metal Gear Kevin. People are like, oh, okay, I got it.
I'm going to write that to Joel right now.
We'll skip this.
Writes itself.
We'll skip this one.
So what you would do is that it ends up being like you have a program that will incite a crowd. Like so you you could like press the thing and all of a sudden it'll like make everyone's phone ring, and then you have to like walk around like you distract guards by like making their phones ring or
first one you have a nightstick and you're just wailing on dudes with it.
Always with the wailing on dudes, Getty. In Watch Dogs 2, he's got a yo-yo, and that's pretty cool, like a weaponized yo-yo. And I really like
weaponized yo-yo.
Yeah, it was.
And then in the third one, you're just everybody. You're John Everyman.
I definitely like that you're like the old lady, and she just like beats the crap out of people, and it's very funny. I like those games. Those are very good games. Okay.
And they're entertaining. I only ever played the first one. I constantly wait for the second one to go on sale, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get it this time, and then I never do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it? I think you probably just missed the Steam sale, but it's like $50 right now. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's not realistic.
It was probably on sale. The second one. That second one is the best one. The second one's the best one. Period.
I'm sure that it was on sale.
Weaponized yo-yo.
I got the couple of games that I wanted.
We're not gonna talk about Steam sale and how that affected me personally.
You did that to yourself.
We're not gonna talk about Steam sale and how it affected me.
You chose violence, sir.
I don't know why you did that.
Hartwig, did you get anything on the Steam sale?
I told my wife about what you did.
What did I do?
And I went, I would never do that. I would never tell you. I would never then find this number and be like, hey babe, guess what?
Let me tell you this number.
You know, I for me personally, hold on,
wait. So you told Sam
my number
about his number, yeah.
I told Lisa.
About his no. To be fair,
what is happening here?
I tried. Sorry, I think I'm peeking here because
I definitely peeked just now.
No, I'm talking about my
in life.
Yeah, let me. I'm getting a little excited here. Let me turn the game down.
You guys are really just talking up my number now.
Well, and I
number,
went to the link that you shared and logged into my Steam account, and I couldn't figure out where you got these shame numbers. I'm like, where is that? I'm like,
oh no, you're talking about his total number. No, he added a little bit to it this last Steam sale.
No, we don't need to talk about that right now.
Oh, I'm talking about his lifetime shame.
Oh yeah, no.
Steam shame number.
Yeah.
We don't
talk about that here.
We can always go to steamtime.info, figure out how much time we've wasted on video games on Steam.
No.
And
We don't need
Alex
to
is gonna
do
win.
any of this. Why do
Alex
we
is
need
going to win.
You know what?
Remember he sent that video of or his picture of Skater XL and it was like, you've played 790
Well, I
hours.
will tell you. I think
it is-
the most interesting question from me
742 right now.
about myself, which I would love to know, is the value ranking. That because you would think okay, it's Hartwig. We're talking about what game he's played it's probably like Skyrim or which is probably close, but there's been 11 Skyrim versions, so none of those hours ever really add up. It's I have 200 hours over there, 500 hours over there. Okay, and I thought about it. I think for me it's Civ 5. You guys, I have 1,400 hours in Civ 5. That's a game where you could just sit and go. You can have the flu and just click buttons, and it's the best there. Oh, God, you guys, I know that they just announced Civ 7. I recognize that. I get it. But I do want to just go back a little bit right now. Just probably best value game for me is Civ 5. So I just wanted to say that. I don't know why I felt compelled in this moment, but here we are. So,
Watch Dogs. It's going to be awesome. I'm into it, Kenny.
Okay.
Watch Dogs. Back to Watch Dogs again.
Yeah.
All right. No, we're good. We're going to move on to the next piece of news.
Yep.
We got to keep moving. Valve sneak releases a fighting game
Yep.
into Dota 2. It's called Sleet Fighter.
Yep. Using Dota
Sleet
characters.
Fighter.
So now that will be in our freebies section.
That's such a space
Okay.
that RTS, right?
No.
When we're talking about Dota, right?
Dota, I believe, is just called Dota now.
No, but
isn't the genre? What is
the genre?
No, it's
art
MOBA.
is
It's
that's
MOBA. MOBA.
MOBA.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
MOBA.
Real time strategy is a different. How close are they? You know what? Don't know. I don't need you guys to split hairs for me now in this moment.
Do you want? This is actually a really new. There's actually a really new real-time strategy game.
Alex,
that everyone's talking about,
if
you want it, yeah.
please look at me. I do not want to waste any more valuable Baldur's Gate time. Okay.
All right. He realized he's cutting into his other segment.
I'll send you a link. All right.
Moving right along.
Googling.
Astro's Playroom now getting updated with new Sony IP bots. So June was Lady Maria from Bloodborne. July is going to be Celine. It is July from Returnal.
What's cool about this, Getty, is that they're currently live, but the trick is that to save them from their little prison cages, you have to do little puzzles to figure it out. People have figured out Celine, but they have not figured out Lady Maria yet. So the community is gathering around to try to go through and unlock these characters, but they're slowly getting updated as you go. So there's going to be more.
Okay.
And it kind of does like everybody else because the next Astrobot comes out in September. So
It's happening.
Like everybody else, I'm kind of like, man, should I just go back into Astro's Playroom and just kind of mess around?
Probably should.
We should unlock
right now
because they added trophies.
Just end the episode and we go and we do that, right?
Well, because they added these trophies with these new characters, so we could definitely do that.
I know. I appreciate a good trophy. So
I'm gonna say it. We could do it again.
Call it right now.
But
you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Bye. Good night. Last piece of news. Angerfoot goes 1.0. We played that here on this podcast. Angerfoot, first-person shooter, and you kick stuff. You kick. You kick indoors. You kick villains. You got an angry foot. I believe that they updated it, and the foot is now sassy.
I don't know about that. I just know that the foot kind of plays into a lot more than you think. Like there's scenes of you and your girlfriend sitting on the couch. And
no. I actually would love to interrupt you and instead, can you clarify what you mean by sassy? There's an update because I don't know anything about this game at all. So let me just start there.
It's very foot forward.
But then you said there was an update to this game. Not in.
Well, when we played it, the foot didn't have as much personality as he has now.
Okay. Does the foot speak, or is it like sort of paraverbal sort of personality? Is it a gestury kind of thing, or does it have a voice?
No, it's a foot.
It's okay.
It's doing foot stuff.
A foot that got sassier but has no voice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all in on this. I do not need to.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear anymore. Although now that I feel weird that I said that I was all in on the foot forward game.
You really are.
Not that there should be like nobody should feel any weirdness or anything, but like what?
Go to Steam.
No.
Fingerfoot.
No, you know
Fingerfoot.
what?
Watch
No,
it.
you know what? Because here's what happened when I did go to the Steam library analytics website. Eric. Thank you.
Who's Eric?
You. All right, you understand that I mean...
Nobody calls me by my baptized name.
Yes,
No, don't
I
call
do.
by his government name.
I do. And here's why. Because there are still two or... I'm not... You know what? If we're not...
What is happening right now?
If we're not supposed to be swearing, I probably shouldn't talk about H games. So I won't talk about the things that you've gifted me that have ruined the sanctity of my hard drive.
And your analytics. Now you're getting all
Nobody
sorts of
made you install
suggestions.
it.
Nobody made me install it and play 34 hours, but here we are. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. I'm not even sure. Like, it was just a weekend. What do you want from me?
This is just a weekend.
No.
You're getting nowhere with this
You
show.
could look up the analytics. You would know that that's not true because I figured out how to go into the
hide
files and change.
Let me take you to a place. Let me take you to a place called Freebies.
Freebies.
Freebies!
Oh, I thought it was Faerun.
Also, that's why Getty is never online. He never wants anyone to know what he's
Freebies. For freebies. We got freebies. There's a lot of freebies this week.
Hold on, we're just
Alex.
gonna don't do this one. This one's wrong.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Are you ready for me to... Why didn't you just delete it? Why would you say this one's wrong?
Because I'll talk to you about it off air. I wanted that one.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, let's go.
It's so cryptic.
The First Descendants. It is on everything except for Switch.
First Descendants, if you guys like Warframe, third-person shooter Warframe, doing all the Destiny stuff, going out and doing some quests that are out in a small map, and then go to another small map and talk to a guy, and then the guy says, go to this other small map and you do the thing, and then you have to get all sorts of resources to build the thing to build another thing. Yes, you got the First Descendants.
Okay.
It looks fun.
Whoa.
It's real sexy, Getty.
I consider myself, for the most part, to be like a pretty good active listener. And about 2 sentences into what you said, not even sentences, it was probably like half a dozen words. I stroked out and just, and it's not the game, and it wasn't the way you did it. But
the words he used.
I just have to be here and honest in this space and say that, like, everything glazed over for me, and I was like, Warframe, this is what happens to teachers in July during the summer.
He used words.
He used a lot of words.
Too many in a row.
Too many? Yep.
Take breaks.
Let's see if he can do better on the next one.
Hit me.
Zenless Zone Zero. Also, all platforms.
He's shaking his head before I
You
even
guys
start.
are not. Okay, now I did.
These are free.
These are free.
I do not have.
them for
I
free.
do not have access to the doc tonight. But I know what your docs look like. Okay, and you are not doing yourselves any favors with the way. Wait, but that's not you guys writing that. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Can you please repeat that one more time? But I need like 50% speed from where you are.
Zenless.
Zenless.
Yep.
Gross.
Zone.
Zone.
Yep.
Zero. Zenless Zone
please,
Zero
please.
on
Epic
all
Game-
platforms,
Epic Game Store.
including mobile.
And Epic Game Store for PC.
I think you mean platforms. That's good. That's just a.
Do I?
You do. I do think you.
Do I?
Zenless Zone Zero
sorry.
is a kind of a Devil May Cry hack and slash game from the Hoyoverse. If you thought I was speaking nonsense before, The
Yeah, still
Hoyovers.
nonsense.
Which are there other? This is not. This is a real question, not baloney.
Yep.
What
Was it Yokai Star Rail? Is that
Yokai
one of
Star
them?
Rail and Genshin Impact.
Okay,
There we go.
okay. Just say the one that 100 million people know the name of. Genshin Impact.
All of them,
Because they
actually,
know-
all of them are hits. Like
Yeah.
Honkai Star Rail is a
hits
it's a chart
hits
topper.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
on your
Got it.
phone.
I don't. You guys. I know. I don't know about video games. I play about 4 of them.
Whoa!
Sorry, guys. Oh.
It's too late.
Genshin
I'll put a
Impact.
quarter.
You could also
I'll put
play
a
on your
quarter
phone.
in the donation jar.
There you go.
250,000.
When it comes to
So
extra
we'll
life.
meet somewhere in between.
So Zenless Zone Zero. I'm trying to move on. Zenless Zone Zero, third-person hack and slash. The way it works is that you send out teams of 3 different anime characters out into the field. You get a main attack, special attack, and then also you can swap between them. But if you swap between them at like the perfect parry situation, it does like a very flashy attack. Your character will parry, and the person you swap to will come in and do a special attack. It's a very flashy game, like any of those games. Genshin Impact is more of like a Zelda action adventure. Honkai Star Rail's turn-based RPG. This is more of like a Devil May Cry.
Wait, whoa. First of all, I see Getty you shaking your head a bunch during what he was just saying.
I said
But also-
Zelda-like. He hates the word Zelda-like.
Got it. Okay, that perfect. Second point, you said I was just here on the tangent for this. Then you said turn-based strategy, and I was like,
No.
Turn-based
RPG.
RPG.
yeah, turn-based RPG.
Honkai
you're-
Star Rail.
It's different from strategy.
Okay, but you need okay. Yes, thank you. Fair point. Are we talking about like? Oh, I hate
like a
this.
Final Fantasy
Final Fantasy.
or Persona.
Persona. He's shaking his
Into it?
head.
Not into it? Into it?
Remember,
Not into it?
Kevin, this is an audio podcast.
All I do. Okay, we're also streaming live. Like
No, are we?
I.
For who?
Supposedly.
Who's watching?
Darian's watching.
Yep.
Hi, Darian.
What's
Hey,
up?
Darren.
What's up, dude? How
bro?
you doing? My face is good. I feel like my gesturing does come through in the audio. There's a subtlety to the way the air hits the empty
does
sound. It does. Who do you guys mixes it? It's Joel, right? As Joel.
If you hear is your disgust.
Alex, tell me about Floppy Nights.
Floppy
I played
Nights!
Floppy
Ew.
Nights. I can do Floppy Nights.
That is on Epic Game Store. It is a tile-based RPG.
Is that a
You're
K?
moving
Is that a
units.
K in the word night?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. You should have shared the deck with me, by the way. Next.
You are moving characters along tiles and then doing turn-based attacks. It is very Saturday morning cartoon. Very cool. I'm into it.
Next one, Alice Through the Fey Realm. Steam.
It's an enchanting isometric narrative adventure that pulls you into the shoes of Alice. A compelling adventure unfolds as you awaken in the mysterious Fey realm and embark on a quest to discover the key to your journey home. There's some dice rolling happening. This seems like an Alice in Wonderland, but
I was gonna ask. It didn't seem like explicit, but I mean, like,
Yes, this is very Alice in Wonderland, but it reminds me of what's that game that Joel cannot beat on stream?
There's a lot of
Well,
those.
not Lion King.
Lion
well-
King. Oh, right. I'm sorry. Right. He
being
did.
the bad
Disco
guy.
Elysium.
Disco Elysium. It looks like Disco Elysium.
Wait,
but
he
Alice in
can't
Wonderland.
beat it.
He physically cannot.
Is it because it's so depressing?
Kind of.
No, he just...
Can I tell you
don't
guys
know.
something? 2-3 different times I've tried to start that game, and I did not have the emotional bandwidth to. I'm like, I can't do this.
That's a fair assessment.
I'm like,
Fair
I
assessment.
have enough regular intrusive thinking that like I don't need fake, like deterministic intrusive thinking that like Plus, there's a lot of cigarette smoking in that game, and like after having quit
It made me
smoking
wanna
cigarettes,
smoke so bad.
like that's just some. That's, you know what? Maybe it's time to go back and try again.
Smoking? Hell yeah. I mean,
No,
But you know what it's definitely time for?
hit me next one. Next one, Getty.
All Walls Must Fall on Steam.
All Walls Must Fall. If you like XCOM, All Walls Must Fall. A tech noir tactics game set in Berlin 2089, where the Cold War never ended.
is the soundtrack done by Paul Wall by any chance? Because that is just a great. Would be.
I don't know if
amazing.
he does tech noir tactical soundtracks.
I think he does whatever he's offered money to do, and I think the opportunity to do. Can you please tell me the name? Can you tell me the name of the game again one more time?
All walls must fall.
Scored by Paul Wall. Yes, that's just perfect.
What's next, Getty?
That's it.
Next is Seraphim Slum on Steam.
An eerie liminal game, whatever that means, that explores just how far an angel can fall. Play as a Sapphic Lucifer.
Sapphic.
What? Sapphic?
Sapphic, yep.
Yeah.
I've only read that word. I've never said it out loud.
And now you've said it.
It's usually, you know what? Never mind.
Play as a Sapphic Lucifer and make angels fall in love with you. It's a visual novel. It's a visual novel. It looks pretty good. Well, pretty fun.
And
add to cart.
Last one, Sleet Fighter in Dota 2.
Yeah, this is the fighting game that's more like a Street Fighter, and you could find this game in Dota 2.
Wonderful.
So you have to install Dota 2 to play this game?
Yep, just like
No, that's too much effort.
Just like playing, you want to play Guitar Hero or Rock Band? You gotta install Fortnite, my friend.
Gross.
No,
wait.
you got to.
Wait a minute, you guys. Wait. I heard about how Guitar Hero.
Been in there.
Okay,
like
now
6 months,
no, I know.
and the guitars
I
are
know.
out now.
That was my next question. Is there actually?
Yeah,
No,
they're just
Yep.
they're
I
selling
had
out real
originally.
fast
I had
right now. So
I had
they're hard to get.
yeah. I would assume that. I had heard that it was just Rock Band stuff, but what is the deal with like the catalog of songs? Do we have specifics on like which Guitar Hero songs are they gonna have? Like, because all that matters to me is that I can just play YYZ by Rush over and over again from Guitar Hero 2.
No, it's just Freebird, nothing else.
Well, no, okay, no, but if
It's just
but if
Freebird.
Freebird is okay, if it's just Freebird, that would still be okay, probably, because that's a pretty rad one. But that is actually on Guitar Hero 2, so if Freebird were on it, I'd be like, okay, so YYZ might be on there. Like, great, you might get Thunder
Fortnite
Horse
Festival songs, full lineup. Let's see here.
It's all just Travis Scott. It's all just Travis Scott
All
songs.
Metallica songs.
Okay, yeah.
You're looking for who is it again? You're looking for?
Tell me if. Oh my God! What is the metal? What's the Death Clock? Just
Rush.
Tell me. Just tell me. Rush or Death Clock. That's all I need you to tell me.
No Rush and
Like Thunder Horse. The song would be Thunder Horse by
no
Death Clock. That's stupid.
Ooh, Party Rock Anthem.
That is
A lot
not
of Lady
a,
Gaga, but that's
that
because
is
she's
not-
in Fortnite.
That is not. Those aren't guitars. Okay, I guess this is also Rock Band, so it's not exclusively like.
I mean, they
guitar,
got-
Well, no,
guitar
it's guitars.
It's whatever you want.
They got
it to
Megan
be.
Thee Stallion Savage.
Wait. Time out. Why are we not talking about how I rolled a wonderful monk with my first character, you guys?
Getty,
Because we're
Gotta get us
we're
out of here.
You keep
still
getting
in this
distracted.
segment.
get us out of here, Getty.
Alex, we're gonna need a pay raise so that we can afford Game Pass. Let's talk contracts in the break.
You guys aren't unionized.
Yeah, we are.
Crap.
Hey, we're back. We're back with the Backlog Blog where we play games. Nope. Kevin played Baldur's Gate. If you have not, and you are still playing through, or you feel like you're sensitive to spoilers, now is the time for you to turn off the podcast.
I'll be mostly like reasonable, but like, yeah, always a risk.
Well, the game's been out for a couple of years, but there's also enough playthroughs that maybe you won't even know what we're talking about. So we're going to do it anyway, but if you feel threatened in any way,
Yeah.
you can skip this segment. All right.
Just gotta mute.
I mean,
my
people
mic here.
are still discovering things about
yeah.
the game.
Here's what I will tell you on that point, Alec.
What is Baldur's Gate 3, Kevin?
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking. It is, it is an isometric game, right? At the core, although there's all kinds of zooming in and cinematic stuff mixed in, but like at the core, it's first of all direct Dungeons and Dragons, not just like tangentially. Like it is like it's Faerun, like it is the lore, and it is like a turn-based combat exploration RPG, and it's beautiful and really like I was not going to talk about it too much, but like I like telling people that Larian Studios, who of course made Baldur's Gate 3, and now has like a lot more like popularity and like acclaim, especially like at the recent batch of award shows this past season. Like they cleaned a lot of houses, just like from narrative perspective, character design perspectives, overall just game direction. Like Baldur's Gate has done critically very well, I understand. But I like to remind people that like Divinity Original Sin 2, which was Larian's last video game that they put out before this, won them the opportunity to even make Baldur's Gate 3. Like it like Divinity Original Sin 2, it was so good that Wizards of the Coast was just like, and I understand, and of course our D&D people here could, clarify, but I understand them to be like extremely stingy about their properties and like who they lend them out to in order to like maybe not as much anymore. Maybe in terms of video games, there was Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 back in the day. And I understand like a lot of companies have tried to make games and they've been very selective, I guess, because
it's difficult. In order to really do justice to the genre, you have to put as much time and dedication as Larian did into this, and it was basically built from the ground up using all of these resources. It follows, you said, the lore of one of the prominent realms that they use in Dungeons and Dragons, as well as a lot of the mechanics and systems that we use currently in 5th edition. So there's a lot of things that they really put all the time and effort into that made it feel special. So that me, somebody who has been playing Dungeons and Dragons since I was in high school, can easily jump in and know exactly what's going on. But at the same time, the systems are simple enough that somebody who may not know could start with it and then quickly figure out, okay, these are the good things that I want to do, these are things that I want to avoid. But the dice roll mechanic, that's really the thing that makes you feel great about it, because it's what it's like in real life when you roll that natural 20.
I totally agree with you. I played from the beginning of the pre-release, like 3 years before the full game came out, and so I saw all kinds of iterations of characters, and like, for example, like Will and Karlak, who are two of the origin characters in the game, had completely different voice actors, completely different stories. Their stories were completely rewritten, and everything was re-recorded with new actors. Like I couldn't tell you exactly, but like fairly later on in the process of development. In terms of like its closeness, its proximity to release, but so we saw so many iterations of how they adapted and moved those systems around, and it's really funny because when the alpha first came out, the dice rolling was brutal. It was unforgiving. It was rough. So you would just have these like really rough encounters where you're like, I'm just trying to do regular attacks. It says blah blah blah, I'm rolling this, and they spun a little magic. I think, I don't know where in the settings it is, but like they call it karmic dice rolls, And basically, like, it's a setting that they built into the systems that you can toggle on or off if you want. Like, I always keep it on. I'm like, what? I like myself. This is not a Dark Souls game. Like, I'm not trying to feel pain. Where, like, they will sort of, like, and I don't know the exact math of it because I've just never looked it up. I didn't care to. But they'll sort of, like, smooth around some of the more extreme dice rolling, I guess, that happens. And I don't know if that's them, like, every 5 times that you roll a 1, we'll call it a 3. Or so I don't know what the breakdown of it is. But they added more and more. And the other thing that was really cool about the development process is that they kept a lot hidden. It was only part of what they had done. So when full release came out, like, and I was playing through the first act for, like, what felt like the 7th time, there was so much new stuff, new cinematics, new interactions, and it was just a blast and a half. So, but in terms of, like, how... like, I approached it not as, like, a D&D. Like, I am a fan of role-playing games in general, and D&D. I've never played D&D only because, like, I just never had the opportunity. But, like, I would, and I am a fan of, like, D&D culture.
Hey, you guys
like,
got that D&D that I can play this weekend?
You guys got one of them dodecahedrons, like, you know, like, yeah, like, so
sometimes you just gotta play.
Yeah, so this was a great way for me to, like, okay, let's really get in there. But I came into this as, like, a hyper fan of Larian, having played, like, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of Original Sin 2. And so jumping to Baldur's Gate was such a shift because there's a lot of similarity in the quality of the setting and the writing and the isometric stuff. Like, you can see, like, there's a lot of stuff that they tried in DOS 2 that they perfected in Baldur's Gate 3. And
we've all played Divinity here, right? Alec, yeah, and some... Alec hasn't?
I have it installed, but never ended up playing it.
I totally understand. If you're going to, just be sure that you spec shields, and also, like, you can't go wrong just playing 2 characters and doing dual lone wolf. I'm just, anyways.
It's one of those games that felt like there was a correct build, and if not, you could be completely boned.
Well, and no, okay.
No, barrelmancy.
DOS 2, despite all the cheesing and stuff, there was a big barrier of if you're trying to play on a higher difficulty and or even on regular, but, like, you're challenging yourself, but you don't have any knowledge of the systems, like, you're gonna build, like, a bad character. It's gonna be tough. Like, my first playthrough was so hard because things aren't
you
optimized.
wanted to build the character that you thought was fun instead of what was right.
And what I'll tell you is Baldur's Gate 3 compared to Divinity Original Sin 2 is much more, I was going to say much more forgiving of just, like, let whatever happens happen and just be okay with it. There were some times where some consequences happened where I was like, no. And of course, like, right now I'm playing as a paladin, Oath of the Ancients, and I'm like, well, how the ding dang did I break my oath this time by cursing live on stream? That's how I broke my oath this week. No, but, like, so there is a shift in the mechanics. By the way, the other game that made me sob at the end of it was Divinity Original Sin 2. For sure, specifically at Losa's ending.
We doing spoilers for Divinity 2? Okay, hold on. So we're straying away from the path of Baldur's Gate 3. We haven't really covered too much of the story itself or, you know, your playthroughs, Kevin. So, Alex, I wrote a couple of, like, talking points in the document so that you don't die this week, because I see you on the ropes. Can you go ahead and just pick a random one off of there?
Yeah, hit me with some prompts. This is like
one of them is like a non-talking point, so just avoid the one that says avoid.
How many bad guy runs have you completed?
Okay, so
Well, no. This is a straight question.
for me,
Just how many bad guy runs?
me, none. Samantha, her first playthrough was the Dark Urge playthrough.
And what is Dark Urge for those who do not know?
Okay, so without
Alex, pay attention
without
to
saying
this.
too much overall,
I know this answer.
No, you can spoil it.
Okay, so you end up playing as a character called the Dark Urge, who you get various visions, actions, consequences, and stuff as you go. That
Intrusive thoughts. Is what I've been told.
my Lanta, that is such a good. Yes, thank you. You are a hyper psycho, violent murderer. Okay, and you want to just, and if there are opportunities to like hit various types of skill checks to prevent yourself from doing stuff or doing other stuff that also has consequences. One of my favorite early on characters in the game
Is who? Who is it?
her name's Elmira. Elmira. She's a bard.
Elvira's my wife.
Right outside the Druid camp. She's kind of like at the Druid camp. She's like struggling to write a song for her like dead master. Blah 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 blah. So she, after you talk with her, she can sometimes come back to your camp, and she's a great character. Well, as the Dark Urge, you will murder her, like in her
Just straight up?
over a long rest. You'll take a long
go to do the long, and then
you'll
wake
take
up
a
and-
long rest, and like it'll be like you refused to kill blah 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 yesterday when we did these skill checks, and you hit these, I don't know, constitution checks or whatever. So even though you hit those checks in your sleep, you killed somebody at camp. And Sam didn't even go all the way with it.
I'm told it's brutal. You
It's-
can
it
pretty
is-
much kill.
It's brutal.
everybody
I've
in your
seen
party.
brutal options. It's essentially, you find out that like the Dark Urge is acting as an agent of Baal, who is one of the, I guess the three antagonists in this game are like the three like sort of gods. They're like sort of gods. They're not really gods. They stole godhood, if I understand it correctly.
The game is broken up into 3 acts.
Yes.
3 acts. So in the first act, it's not overly apparent that these are the people that you're
No,
going after.
not yet.
The premise for the game, and I don't think I'm ruining anything for Alec, because
It's a little wormy.
you have
do you want-
a mind flayer worm that is
Okay,
been
here,
embedded in your soul.
Here, get it. I'll give us a little. Okay, so
In Act 2,
Act 2.
you run into these scrubs.
Yeah, so Act 1 is all about holy moly, I have this worm in my brain. I've met a bunch of other people who have this worm in their brain who are friends, and they're not evil because of the worm. And then there's a whole lot of other people who are evil, the absolutists, like basically. And Act 1 is basically just exhausting a list of like possible ways to get the worm out of your brain. I will say this is a huge spoiler, so just blah 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 blah. Like you don't get the worm out of your brain at all ever. just like a heads up, it's not happening.
I mean, except for that one ending.
Listen. There are ways to exterminate the worm. All right, Gaylor has it a little bit easier. Like he's got some choices he can. I'll tell you what. Okay, never mind. Let me. Okay, so Act 1 is all about you finding and searching for ways to address this worm in your brain, and then
Otherwise, you turn into a mind.
turn into a mind flayer. Okay, ceramorphosis. All right, but it hasn't happened to you. All right. Additionally, you have this voice. There's this voice talking to you. And it doesn't it's not too much in Act 1. It's towards the back end of Act 1 that you start hearing from your mysterious companion.
Okay, but Kevin, did you romance the voice in your head?
Which time? Let me see.
Every day, baby.
It is possible to romance that voice.
Well, it's
guys.
not. I mean, it's
Every day.
it's more like a tryst. It's not. I wouldn't listen.
Did you or did you not?
Yeah. In my first playthrough,
voice in
yes,
your head.
of course. In my first playthrough, I did. Of course, I did. In my first playthrough, I mean, I dangle.
Whoa!
I mean, we're talking about. Okay, I dangle. Hung around with anybody who gave me the opportunity, even when I realized, and too late in the dialogue choices, that it was a large bear.
All right, here. We don't have to.
No.
We don't have to go too far.
But
Let's
so
pull up
who was
the
your-
questions here.
Who was your best character? Your best boy or girl
Best girl.
of the origin characters.
of the origin characters?
God, that's really tough.
Quick, the timer's still running.
It's Karlak.
Okay.
It's Karlak. So Karlak was who I. The first time I played it at full release was just me playing by myself. That was when I played as a monk. I had no. I guess monogamous romantic ties with characters in the game. So like, there's with Mizora, who is the demon, or I guess devil demon. They have very different definitions, I understand, in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, they are. They're two very different things.
Right, because demons are chaos, right? And devils...
I believe she's a devil.
Right, she's a devil, but right. And that's what the whole Blood War is, the chaos demons versus, like, we like fascism.
Okay, we don't have to get into the deep lore. It's okay.
I didn't think. Okay, let me be clear. The blood war and the lore behind that is not deep lore in this game. It's front and center. Like, you witness the blood war in the intro, basically, to this game. So, like, for me, as somebody who doesn't have like the years and years of tabletop lore exposure, I'm like, you guys, Mind Flayers are a main part of Dungeons and Dragons. Even though you guys...
Most of the stuff that I've ever played is homebrew.
See,
there's only been a couple of, like, modules that I've run with
got
friends.
it.
So
it's all...
We just do
go
whatever.
for it. See,
you make the story as you go.
I love that. And you know what? This
spent
game
4 years looking for my donkey.
Gives you the opportunity to do that.
That's true.
The thing that the hands down the best playthrough so far was the playthrough that me and Sam did as our co-op playthrough, where it was probably not the best like tactical choice, but it didn't end up mattering because like we have been playing this for years. So from a skill perspective, like we're not like we know where to go to get the right stuff and which potions are the right things and blah 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 blah, like how to spec stuff and cheese stuff, like. So when
it's okay to use a haste potion.
So it's always okay. It's always okay.
Is it?
No, it's not. You have to stage your. I would
not.
honestly stockpile speed potions until at least you're in Act 2. Although there are some encounters in tactical because our new couples playthrough that we're doing is on tactical difficulty now, and in DOS 2, the difficulty jump from normal to tactical was a lot more. That they had a lot more HP and armor and did a lot more damage and you did less. There were some AI mechanic changes where like, they wouldn't stupidly just stand there anymore, where you're like, why aren't they moving? Like, okay, I'll just keep shooting them. Like, lucky for me, like, great. In Baldur's Gate, the tactical jump is like they are using spells, they are focusing healers, they are like the computers, like who's got the smallest armor class, like they're doing
smart.
Yeah, they're doing a lot more smart, cool stuff. So there's a lot more like we're being put to sleep by the AI now, and it's like, oh, I don't remember them using like sleep potions when we were playing, or like sleep spells or whatever on our regular other playthrough. But we played as...
All right, Kevin, we're approaching the 1 minute mark.
On what? My time?
On the segment.
On the segment about Baldur's Gate?
Do you know how long you've been going?
I don't. What I will tell you
minutes.
is that you cannot you cannot go wrong. Anybody looking to play this game, you cannot go wrong picking class and race and like pick something interesting and make the role play choices. Like right now, I'm playing as a Gith paladin, and it is complicated, you guys. Anyways,
it's definitely a choice.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing, and I am excited to find out like more stuff because like it's one of those things where because of the choices you make for class and race and stuff, you're never going to experience everything on a single playthrough. So it begs.
No.
It begs for you.
Literally cannot.
It begs for you to revisit. So you say, like, how many times have I done an evil playthrough? Me? None. But my next one definitely is going to be one. Because
you could be the bad guy.
There are companions. There are companions that you can only get if you are.
If you play as a
there are stuff, even origin characters who cannot reach their full, I guess, like narrative potential. Like Shadowheart, if you're gonna make Shadowheart a fucking dang old dark justiciar, you're gonna have to make some choices. And I'm telling you, as somebody who's romancing Shadowheart right now in my current playthrough, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I think she's just gonna have
good old Shart romance, huh?
I love Shaddy.
That's how you abbreviate it. You do the S heart, so it's Shart.
I need you to understand for a second that my wife's name starts with an S. So the last 2 professional work emails that she's had,
Shartwig. Yep.
It's not. And listen, and I teach 4th grade. We're out of the Baldur's Gate segment now, so I can just talk about this.
Well,
hold on.
Have a couple of minutes to talk about this.
I actually need
move on to the actual segment.
like 12 seconds. Okay. I teach upper elementary, lower middle school. And every millisecond that my students have not figured out Fartwig is a gift from the divine. Okay? And whether it's they aren't or haven't been clever enough to put that together, or they're too afraid to even dare say it within earshot of me, I don't care. All right? That is the gift that I've been given as a professional. Thank you. Okay.
And then you just take it out on the goblins in Baldur's Gate. So. Well,
some of the I want to be friendly with the goblins on my next playthrough. Okay, that's the other reason I want to have an evil playthrough.
Cover I'm like, yourself and hoop.
I don't. Speaking of that, you want to hear how weird it gets?
I don't know if speaking with that's a good segue, but
they do like that. They do like
that. At the end of the dark, this is a huge spoiler. At the end of the Dark Urge playthrough, you come back to your camp, or you have the option to come back to your camp when, like, oh, everything's ended, and the Withers has gathered up everybody to have like a party and drinks and.
Do you
like,
have to have a fight with Withers and he's like boss level?
No. You sneak up as the Dark Urge in like the woods outside of the camp, and I'm not lying to you guys. This is not me. This is not a bit. You have the option at some point to, groan terribly and then soil yourself just standing there.
Okay.
You could be like groan lightly and urinate all over yourself, and that's like a dialogue choice, and then you pick it and then your guy does it, and then like later on you kill them all in their sleep. So
okay.
It's a dark.
I don't know if that's the way that we wanted to end the segment, but that's where we're ending.
Here's what I'll tell you. Here's the way to end it. Dual bard playthrough. Bards are the best. Always pump.
They are
in this game.
The Lord of the Rings ending. There's like 7 endings here.
No. But this is the light one, and this is the real ending to transition away from this appropriately. In this game, charisma is OP and so much fun. So play a bard, play a warlock, play
us out of here, Getty.
You could play a paladin. Yep. Okay,
I'm moving it along. We're gonna go to our final segment of the night. One last thing, and this week's one last thing is brought to you by Hanging Out. Yeah, I said it.
You don't do it.
This counts as
It
hanging
does
out.
not count.
This totally
This doesn't
counts.
count. Fundatory.
This happens weekly.
Isn't it fundatory? Mandatory.
Fundatory.
Here's a fundatory question. 2 seconds. First reaction. If the four of us, were going to play a 4-stack in Baldur's Gate 3, what would your race and class be? Getty, go. Without thinking. First instinct, just go.
They didn't add goblins as a playable
No,
race,
I'm so
right?
sorry.
So I guess I'm going to be a halfling monk.
Okay, great.
Warg rogue.
What's up?
Warg and rogue.
No wargs.
Yeah, warg rogue.
Okay.
Half elf bard.
Yay. Okay, love that. You guys.
Are wargs in
And then-
Baldur's Gate 3?
Wait, what did you say?
You said warg.
Oh, no. Well, they're wargs, but not playably.
Okay.
Okay, so pick something else.
Let's go.
What?
Let's go, Getty. Get us out of here.
No.
Alex needs to go. He's got a family. I appreciate that. All right. My one last thing. Infinite wealth. Infinite wealth. That is all.
Good work.
Alex.
All right.
I have finished the Alice in Wonderland Power Wash Simulator DLC, and I feel nothing.
Oh, no.
I feel nothing.
But it's clean.
I mean, it's clean, yes. I'm just bummed. I'm now officially 100% of that game, and I'm like, what do I do now?
What is
Wait for
life?
the next DLC.
House
No, but the
Slipper
DLC
Gym?
just came out. What do I do now?
Now you go back and you try and do all the extra trophies.
That's such a Getty thing to say.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what to do.
Kevin, what's your one last thing?
My one last thing
One.
is thank you for letting me talk about Baldur's Gate so much. And it was nice to be back on Super GG Radio, and I would definitely play Lion King live so that people could watch me be hurt.
Good. I think you owe us 3 hours after this.
Okay, I could do that. I could give you 3 weeks. Or are you looking? I'm sorry. Are you looking for like a 3-hour block?
No.
No.
Because
No.
that I'm gonna need.
1 hour at a time is enough.
Okay.
All right. Alec.
So next week, Path of the Teal Lotus comes out. I'm looking forward to that. I've got my Backers edition ready to go.
Ooh. I'm excited that you're excited about a game.
I am. It's supposed to be really good. I liked the demo what I played of it, but I have to remember not to get greedy on the boss fights.
That's interesting that you're that one really stuck with you.
It did.
That's
yeah.
cool. Very nice.
All right, my dudes, that'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on X, formerly Twitter, at Super GG Radio, and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where Thursdays we have a live podcast. Come on out, hang out, stay a while, listen to us, chit chat, go on long tangents about stuff that doesn't really relate to anything, but yeah.
Speaking of which, I cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on you guys, all 3 of you. And we're going to just roll a d20 here. And I got a 16, so I don't know what your guys' AC.
You don't need to do AC for Tasha's Hideous Laughter. It's a resistance.
Alec.
Yeah,
I
you
would
got
have to
resistance.
roll
Alec,
my...
I'm trying so hard.
I'm
I'm trying so hard here.
Alec plays Raw. Do you know what I mean?
I know. I knew that I was gonna say something wrong in that little. Yeah.
Do you know what playing Raw means, Kevin?
Is it very like strictly to the rules?
Yeah,
or?
rules as written. Alec will mess you up with the book.
I'm very big on Raw.
So
yeah.
what is so then? Is it like?
I mean,
Is it like the U.S. government where if something's not explicitly written, it's doable?
So there's a way that you can interpret it, and it ultimately comes down to the dungeon master's ruling on it. Usually you would defer to whatever is written in the book, but the dungeon master can make a call to,
Sure.
make the game more fun or to spice things up. It just depends
Or
on
do it raw.
how they play.
I also understand there to be a huge, and I love to hear how you guys weigh in on this, a huge debate on milestone versus experience-based leveling.
We can actually talk about that after we end the podcast.
Cool.
And also, Getty, if you
is that okay,
if you need
Alex?
tangents to keep going, I got a tight 20 on Carly Rae Jepsen, but let's keep moving.
I don't.
Okay.
Honestly,
All right.
that's the biggest excuse I've ever had for being like, bye, guys.
The rest of the streaming is on hiatus. We will be back to stream
We'll
eventually.
get a schedule going.
All right, sounds good. And if you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com, and provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. As a kind reminder, we do have that Patreon where you can get monthly pictures of our pups, get your name read off as an executive producer, free copies of Early Adopters, and Alex will definitely play video games with you.
All day, baby. Let's do it. I need people to play with.
Thanks for listening, guys, and good game, Alex.
GG, Getty.
Good game, Alec.
GG.
I'll throw you a good game, Hartwig.
GG.